sprinklers. We're going to turn on the sprinklers to create rain. Watch how easy it is to create a storm whenever we need it. The problem with this special effect, we do it all day. So every time a tram stops here, it rains. All the water is recycled, but the set is built on a hill. So over the course of the day, a lot of that water builds up at the top of the hill, and at one point it overflows. Then all the water rushes down at once and creates a flood. There's actually been a couple times the flood has hit one of the trams as you're driving through. This afternoon, you're on that tram. So be careful if you're sitting on the left side, because there's a flood coming. What that special effect would look like in a scene from a movie. Up on the monitors, this is from the family comedy Big Fat Liar. Nacho Libre with Jack Black was another movie that are filmed out here in this little village. That's a Paramount film. Back in the 80s, Three Amigos, Orion film with Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Chevy Chase. When we leave the village, we cross the border into the Old West, driving right through the town, where over the years we made a lot of movies with John Wayne, Jimmy Stewart, Kirk Douglas, and Clint Eastwood.
Just gonna stir things up here. Let on here.
How dare you hit that man?
Mine hit the ground first.
Mine was taller.
This is a pretty historic section of the backlot, because when the company first moved from New York to California in 1915, these are some of the first sets that were built on the lot for silent films. They're still used. This is another area that they've been using for Stuart Fails to Save the Universe. Quentin Tarantino had used this part of our backlot for Sony's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. In the film, Leonardo DiCaprio's character is an actor, and he's guest starring on a Western television show. So they shot all the Western scenes out in this part of our backlot. But when they're filming and our trams were driving by, we weren't allowed to say what it was. We weren't allowed to say who was starring in it. We weren't allowed to say who was directing it. And we weren't allowed to say the name of the film. Because what would you do if we said the name of the film? You look it up on your phone and see what it is. All we could say was they're doing a top secret production out here. Quentin Tarantino wanted it to be a secret. And this is something that is not uncommon. A lot of times when they're filming things on the lot, to avoid us accidentally pointing out spoilers, things that are supposed to be surprises, they have us keep some things under wraps. And Steven Spielberg does the same thing. Whenever he's directing a movie on the lot, we're not allowed to talk about it until the film is ready to be released. Steven Spielberg had a lot to do with the Jaws attraction being built for the tour. In 1976, Universal called him in to be a consultant on the new attraction. And we're going to be driving by Jaws again. We're not going to drive through it. We're going to pass it. And I'm going to let Steven Spielberg tell you more about it.
The Jaws ride was almost the inevitable result of the size of the box office when Jaws first opened in June of 1975. And that was really the first time I ever got involved in the creation of a ride. It was a great honor to be invited into a creative circle of tremendous designers at Universal that were trying to figure out how to replicate what the movie had done to audiences in a real way by building a physical shark that would come out of the water and terrify tourists as they were sitting in the tram. And the most amazing thing about the Jaws ride is it is exactly as it was from the time it was first placed on the Universal lot. There have been tweaks, of course, over the years, but it is essentially what the designers and myself all envisioned and created.
We're about to pass by Colonial Street, off to the left side of the tram, and this is the part of the back lot where they've been working on a new series, Rambler. They haven't told us too much about the series. They just, told us that it's a new show called Rambler. And the street that they're working on is the same street that was Wisteria Lane in Desperate Housewives. It's the neighborhood where Ted, the talking bear, lives. For 4 years, it was on the Netflix series Never Have I Ever, created by Mindy Kaling. And we've also been working on a new show called The Burbs. It's going to be on Peacock, starring Keke Palmer, and the television show is loosely based on the 1989 movie The Burbs with Tom Hanks. So they're using the same